Man, I should have had like 3 or 4 before you came over, just so I can keep up that energy.
You should have. Well, you had dance tonight, so you had to put your tutu on.
I didn't have dance. My daughter had dance. I played taxi.
You're listening to Those Dram Yinzers with your hosts, John and Zack.
Hey everyone, I'm John.
And I'm Zack.
Welcome to a special edition of Those Dram Yinzers, where we drink days 6 through 10 of the Pittsburgh Whiskey Friends Whiskey Advent Calendar.
And then guess about it.
For everything Those Dram Yinzer needs, be sure to visit thosedramyinzers.com. You can find the order form for the hats, our social media links, our Patreon link, basically anything you need to know about the show, especially Zach's favorite website.
Oh, John, are you talking about dram@threadless.com?
Why, yes I am.
Oh, it's so funny you brought that up, because, with the holidays coming around, I just thought that, if you have any last-minute gifts, and with shipping the way it is nowadays, if you don't mind it being late, like everything else is,
yeah,
it's just as good of a website.
I looked this up because I wanted to make a post about here's your last day to order, because really it's the processing that takes the longest, right? So actually printing whatever it is you're ordering takes longest. It's 4 through 11 days. It's okay,
something insane.
Yeah. But shipping is I think the standard is a week, if that. But if you want to, you can pay more for shipping and get it faster. Or, just slip a little picture of what you bought the person into their gift and be it'll be here on, January 6th or something like that.
So, if you want to make your relatives happy, you want to make John happy, you want to make me happy, you want to make Santa happy, get some sick merch. I don't know. I
left that bit in at the end that you said, I think it was the reveal, where you're listen, your Santa's giving you coal. I was I can't take that out. I have to leave that in there.
I was 3 sheets to the wind.
And I lowered the music. Really, so you could hear what you say, and then I pick it back up.
I'm glad you included that, because I meant it.
You have to listen to the cold open for the days 1 through 5 too, because it's pretty good.
All right. Okay. Man, I should have had 3 or 4 before you came over, just so I can keep up that energy.
You should have. Well, you had dance tonight, so you had to put your tutu on.
I didn't have dance. My daughter had dance. I played taxi. I couldn't even charge her for it. I'm just going to add that to the retirement home bill.
Exactly.
When she's like, "Why do you want to go here? It's so expensive." I'll be like, just a delayed charge.
Here's just your taxi bill from the ages of this to this.
So, let me ring up your tab.
Alrighty, so you want to get into these?
It'd be silly if we didn't.
Number 6. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? Hold on. The only one we're not going to have is the 10th one.
Why not?
No, I'm sorry. The story. Aaron's been having a story with each one, right? That you don't see obviously on the bottles, but it's with the Instagram posts and everything. So you're following. If you're not, go follow Pittsburgh Whiskey Friends on Instagram, and you can see the stories. But I want to pull the stories up and see. So number 6, because 5 was a gazebo story. Remember I said it was Jim, the one moderator who has a gazebo, So it's and Jim did find a forgotten stash of whiskey in the gazebo, and he knew immediately what he should do. He would invite his friends and host a holiday share and celebrate this good fortune. He called Scott and Michelle, Aaron and Alex and Humberto. He messaged Kim and Dan, Christopher and Matt, and those Dram Yinzers too. Last but not least, he called Bobby, but there was no answer. He texted Bobby and no reply. Where could Bobby be? And so number 6 is called Friends Actually, a play on Love Actually.
Right.
And here, you can see, look at the little one, but I'll show you the big picture here.
Okay, I need to see the big picture because I'm old.
There's a lot of little ones on there, but it's all of he put photos of all of us on there.
That's amazing. I love it.
Yeah. Getting a woodsy.
Getting a little bit of licorice, I think.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Medicinal. Yeah, that was the word I was looking for.
Yeah. Maybe a little cherry. Cherry's another medicinal kind of like a woodsy licorice cherry something. Peppery. But also soft.
More pepper than I thought on the nose.
Yeah, I don't dislike it. I actually think I like the taste better than the smell on this one.
Almost more like mint. Not peppermint, but like the Andes Candies mint.
Tastes very earthy to me.
That's a good description.
But it also tastes like, it's going to be weird, the texture is soft. It's like a velvety texture to it. It's not harsh. It's not dry. It doesn't leave my mouth feeling dried out afterwards. It it's like a nice even coating, but it doesn't taste oily either. It's soft. It's like a soft texture with a woodsy taste.
Would that
Earthy,
would that
woodsy.
like lead you to more like maybe this is like a lower proof?
I don't know.
Like because it is that soft, it's not that like typical bite you get when you have like a higher proof.
Yeah. It's like using an airbrush versus using a Sharpie. I don't know. I can only think of things in terms of art brushes.
No, I got you. I get that cherry at the front. That like Andes Candies mint in the middle kind of dies out a little bit, but as it dies, the hug picks up.
Yeah, it's a delayed hug.
So but there's no like gap between finish and then hug. Like as the hug dies, or as the finish dies, the hug picks up, and it's just kind of like an interesting transition.
I like it because it doesn't mean there's too much going on all at once. It's kind of like you get to focus on one bit, and then you get to enjoy the warmth after you've enjoyed the flavor.
What do you think? Okay, so let's say, what proof do you think this is? We didn't do that last time, so I want to make sure that we add that in. What do you think this proof is?
I know the people were, well, not all of them. I know some of the people that we're dealing with. So, like, I'm hesitant to say anything lower than 100, to be honest.
Okay.
But I'd put this anywhere between 90 and 100, I think.
So you think 90s?
Yeah, 90 to 100.
Okay.
I'd be very curious to know if this was bottled in bond.
I'm going to go 95. Just because that's kind of the number I wanted to stick with, so I'm going to go with that one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I'm going to say this is a rye.
I think it's a rye. I think it's a rye too. It's got, but the pepper on it is really beautiful. It's not a harsh pepper. I think because of that softness of the texture and the earthiness of the palate. I don't know. It's like you still definitely get the pepper. You definitely get the pepper, but it like just rounds it out so nicely.
So this would be a...
this is a house for me. I like this.
Normally that pepper isn't... I'm kind of torn on this one. Let me take one more. Let me do this final sip and then... Yeah, I'm going to stick with you in the house.
Yeah, there's just something... You know what really did it for me is like the flavor was nice. The pepper was nice. The hug was nice. There was something about the texture of it. Like really, like I've never had a whiskey that I was kind of like, this is like kind of like a pillow. That was just like really pleasant, really pleasing. It was like enjoyable to drink.
Before we move on to 7, I do want to give a shout out here to our buddies over at Thrifty Whiskey. So I was on a handful of episodes a month or so back. But Josh and his wife are doing daily videos, which is a lot. I mean, it's shorter episodes, but it's still a lot.
Commitment.
Yeah.
Like,
it's definitely
how
commitment.
life gets.
But they're doing daily videos of these bottles. Blind too. They're not doing any reveal to the end. They're doing this advent calendar with the Aldi's cheese advent calendar.
Oh, that's fancy as fudge.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So they're doing the whiskey and then the cheese of that day and whatnot.
And they haven't invited us? What gives, guys?
I'm going to get a text message as soon as he hears this.
Oh my goodness. I love cheese.
Yeah, so they're doing that. So make sure you go over and check them out because that's a lot of work. Daily thing is, I mean, we do it every 5 days, and it's still a lot. And
I mean, yeah,
they do videos. So that's even more a whole other aspect of it. So
I'd just be like, I don't know what to do with my hands.
Yeah, so make sure I did not. When I was on that episode, I did not know what to do with my hands. I was like all over the place. Anyway, go head over to YouTube.
Hey, Macarena.
Head over to YouTube. Check out our friends at Thrifty Whiskey out. And listen, comment, follow, all that good jazz.
And all that jazz.
All right, let's jump to 7.
All right.
Day 7. The Wet Bandit stole from Humberto. They took everything except they left one bottle behind. A Booker's Rye. An empty Booker's Rye. They made this personal. Now Bobby is coming. And this is Lethal Weapon.
I was going to say I'm getting some serious Mel Gibson mullet vibes. Mm-hmm. Waking up in the van on the beach. Mm-hmm. I want to go watch Lethal Weapon now.
Oh, God.
Like nail polish remover.
What is that?
Like, seriously, anytime I take my wife to the salon, like, that's the smell. Mm-hmm. Like, people oftentimes...
What is that, like acetone? What is that?
Yeah, like acetone or something like that. Like, anytime I, like, will drink whiskey with people who aren't normally whiskey drinkers, they'll be like, I smell hairspray and nail polish remover. And I'll be like, you crazy. No, this time around, I genuinely...
That's a weird...
There's like a chemical cleaning product quality to it.
But, like, I get, like, a weird, like, bread.
Yeah.
You smell a bread bag. You know what I mean?
Like, have you ever walked into, like, a Mancini's?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We're getting all kind of weird notes this year.
It's like yeasty.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you mixed Mr. Clean with yeast. Which is my least favorite word of all time, by the way. Some people, it's moist. Mm-hmm. That doesn't bother me. Mm-hmm. I think it's yeast bothers me. You know why I think yeast bothers me so much? Because my brain automatically fills in the back half with infection.
Oh, God.
So have fun with your whiskey, John. Burn my lips.
Yeah, that hits you front to back there.
But there's no hug.
I get a little bit at the end, but... Well, it's one of those things, you know how, like... When you take, like, Pepto-Bismol, do you ever do the thing where, like, you hold your nose and drink it so it doesn't, like, automatically offend you? I think that's the thing is, like, I'm getting the nail polish remover, the bread, and so, like, at the front, it's already, like...
I'm starting to get it now. Mm-hmm. Like, a couple minutes in, I'm starting to kind of get that, like... Yeah, like, if you, like, came over and you, like, took my sandwich, before I took the first bite, you were like, hang on, I'm going to paint your bread.
So last time I said Andy's candy is like mint spice. Mm-hmm. It's just straight up pepper spice. All the way through. Kind of dries me out at the end. Mm-hmm. Teeny hug, which is shocking. I was expecting a lot more of a hug with that big of a pepper punch.
Yeah. Getting like a little bit of like, maybe like, I don't know if it's like pine, but there's like it's a woodsy quality to it. Like, I think it's like a piney quality. Like,
okay. So instead of Mr. Clean and yeast, you're saying pine sol.
No, I was literally thinking if you took pine sol, added some butterscotch and pepper to it, and then made it smell like nail polish.
Okay, like third sip wasn't so bad. I got some of that butterscotch that you said.
Yeah.
And a little bit of vanilla. Proof.
I can't tell if this is higher proof or younger whiskey.
I don't think it's younger.
You don't think it's younger? Higher proof?
No.
I want to say, if we're thinking, based on that comment, which makes sense, I'm going to say 110.
Oh, you're going to go high?
Not because of the hug, but just because of the level of, like, pepper. I don't know, like, it burned in my mouth more than it did in my throat. I am starting to get a little bit of a hug now. Wow, that's a delayed hug. Holy smokes. I'm just starting to get that warming feeling now.
I'm going to go 100.
100? Mm-hmm. Hundo P?
Yeah. And it's funny, is like I kind of want to go back and change my type for the previous one, because this one tasted more like a rye than the last one did. Mm-hmm. Because that's kind of what I'm leaning towards. Like, nothing really else is telling me anything different.
The last sip wasn't as bad as the first one. This one got better as I drank it.
Mm-hmm. I'd be curious to have this one with a cigar, because it would cut out a lot of that spice.
Yeah. I think for that reason, like, I would try this again a couple different ways. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to give it a downtown. I know I'm skipping because I haven't even guessed what kind it is yet. I'm giving it a downtown because I'd want to figure out exactly how to drink this one before I bought a bottle, you know? Because I could see under the right circumstances as being really good, despite my pine sol, butterscotch, pepper, comment.
Yeah, I would try this again with a cigar, and if I enjoy it that way, then that would be a cigar whiskey that I would keep.
Yeah.
But I'm going to stick with rye. I know it's way more rye than the previous one, but I don't think I'm going to go back and change.
First one I think was a rye still. I just think that this might have been a higher proof rye. And I wonder if the other one had like a, I wonder if the other one was like a rye, but had like a higher,
like a lower content,
like a higher wheat content or corn.
Lower rye,
lower
content.
rye content. You know, like a.
Watch, this is probably no. I don't think they got this many bottles. Watch, this is probably Liberty Pole's high rye bourbon.
This is not their high rye bourbon. No way. No, because you came over and we sipped on that, and I was like, damn, that's good. And this one took me 4 or 5 sips before I was like, yeah, I'd try that again. This one is weird though. Like I don't know if it's because this is our second one, but I'm getting like a lingering, it's like a smolder in my chest. It's not a burn, it's a smolder. I'm going to go rye too. I think a higher proof rye with a higher percentage of rye than the first one. I
was getting the next one ready.
I really like this first one. I really like the first one that we did. That one was really enjoyable to me. Like that one was like fun to drink. This one perplexes me.
All right, next one. Day 8. Bobby and Alexander, excuse me, go back to where the wet bandit struck first. Umberto's. There's a strange pattern, some kind of tracks on the floor, and they smell like maple syrup. I love that there's a whole like story going with this too. This makes it even better.
I do too. And the wet bandits are just like all the way through.
Alex and Bobby raid Umberto's. And it's a very Harold and Kumar Christmas.
Okay. All right. That would explain why I didn't know it, because Harold and Kumar,
I've never seen any of those.
They started getting popular when I was like on the tail end of high school. And like all my younger high school friends were like, isn't this hilarious? And I was just kind of like,
well, we also, I don't know about, like, we didn't have White Castles, so like
we didn't have White Castle evil. So I
didn't really get it.
All I ever heard about White Castle too, like as a Midwesterner, was like it said it was shit. I don't know if that was actually what it was, if it was actually shit, or if it was just like.
I mean, in any of those White Castle, Crystal, like any of those like type of like the small like burger, like, you know, whatever, didn't have any of those. So you know, I just didn't.
Yeah. This was before the days of like In-N-Out and Whataburger and that whole.
No, In-N-Out was a thing, but
right,
not out here.
Not out here. Right, but like that was before like that. At least on the East Coast, I'm sure it was a thing on the West Coast, but on the East Coast, like we didn't have Shake Shack yet. We didn't have like the whole like competition of like who's making the best burger. Like for me, it was always like, well, Wendy's makes the best burger because
that's all we knew.
Because that's all we knew. It was like you had Wendy's, BK, McDonald's, and then if you were like drunk and it was midnight, you had Taco Bell. If you want,
probably the closest, maybe I'm incorrect, please correct me if I'm wrong, if people think there's a better representation, but if you want a good representation of an In-N-Out burger that's here, go to Millville, go to Strange Roots, the brewery, Pittsburgh Sandwich Society, the food truck has a permanent like station there. So they're there all the time.
Every time I come over to your house and I pass Strange Roots, I'm like, I've even said to Rachel a couple times, I'm like, I want to go there. Like, it just looks interesting.
It's really
like, it looks cool.
But Pittsburgh Sandwich Society does an In-N-Out burger.
Nice.
And it's smash burger. It's just it's probably one of the better burgers I've ever had in the city.
Sounds really good.
I mean, I've had some really good burgers, but like that one is like, it's top notch.
You got me jonesing for some burgers right now, dude.
We DoorDashing this time?
No, I mean like for real, because like after we're done here tonight, I'm not gonna be driving.
True.
And you're gonna need something before you drive home. So like I don't know, like I mean it'd be McDonald's, but something.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'm really excited. The Sheetz that's closest to me, the one over in Moon, 90% certain they're getting a drive-through window there.
Oh, the one that they just built by us in Glenshaw has a drive-through window.
Oh, I love it. It's a game changer.
Oh, wait, no, maybe it doesn't. But it does, like the food section has its own entrance. So like if you do like pickup,
right?
Like you can just walk right up to the counter and boom, you don't have to like weave through everything. Yeah,
love that. Love that.
Oh, maybe they do. I can't remember now because we haven't gone there as much as I would like to.
You know what I haven't had? A Sheetz burger. Because
I don't know. I don't know when I get their burgers.
I don't either. I'm always like, I get there and I'm like, tendies, mozzarella sticks, and give me an order onion rings. Like quality deep fried like bar food.
Or I like their loaded tots.
Yeah, or when we were in college, I don't know why, I was on a huge kick of like their steak breakfast sandwich.
Oh, yeah.
After like nights down at the house, and we'd like go there and we were like kind of buzzing. I'd be like, I don't know why, but I just got to get like a nice greasy breakfast sandwich.
What are you getting on the nose here?
Sweet. It's a sweet thing on the nose.
Really? I'm not getting this. I'm getting like a cinnamon.
See, but I think cinnamon's kind of sweet. Like I'm getting like a cinnamon nutmeg, maybe like a little bit of a little bit of that acetone, little bit, but not as much as the other one. But there is on that last smell, I got a really nice brown sugar cinnamon note. Oh, that was delightful. Oh, I liked that. It was almost like a okay. I don't know if there's another word for this, and there probably is, and the chefs who are listening to this, like Aaron and all the guys who like smoke and shit, like their meats, not like, you know, puff. But you know, no judgment. It's like, you know, whenever you're like cooking and you throw like brown sugar and butter into the pan and they start to cook together, and I got a whiff of that plus a little cinnamon.
Okay.
It was like cooked buttery brown sugar.
Okay.
And it was amazing.
So not quite to the caramel level yet.
No, not quite to the caramel level yet. Ooh, I'm smelling that a lot more now, and I'm enjoying it.
There was an interesting note halfway through there that makes me feel like this might be a finished, like some sort of like wine cask finished. Because I got a weird like wine note about halfway through. It was hidden. I had to find it.
Finished.
Okay.
Yeah. Because you know what? I have that port finished bourbon from TX upstairs.
Yes.
And this is a bit reminiscent of that for me, because that's kind of got that like that kind of syrupy sweetness that you get from port kind of on the finish there a little bit. A little fruity. It's almost got like an apricot flavor to me. Like as it sits.
So I get that like baking spices at the front. The cinnamon, the nutmeg, the brown sugar, like that kind of stuff. Now see, that time I didn't get that note of the finished, but
when I went back and smelled it, after tasting it, it just opened up that apricot smell to me. Like, whoa.
I feel like I've had this before. This tastes similar. Like this tastes familiar.
I like this. I wasn't sure at first.
And when I first took a sip, I didn't think it.
No. My first sip, I was like, this is all right.
And it's a delayed hug.
It is a delayed hug. But like, as I'm sipping on this, this is layered. Like every sip is a little different. And it just gets more pleasant with every sip. Yeah, there's like a cinnamony, apricot-y. I do think you're right. I think this is like a finished barrel. I'm going to put my flag in the ground. I'm going to say port finish.
There's something different about this. I'm just going to say, I'm not going to go straight up port. I'm going to go like a wine cask finished. There's something about this that, and I feel like I've had this. I'm just going to say, wine cask finished. Maybe a bourbon. Maybe. You're going to say port?
Port finish, definitely. I think. I say that like I know. I'm going to sound like such an asshole.
What's your guess?
We're just going to come out and they're going to be like, you dick.
Who cares if we're wrong? I don't care.
Can be like, that wasn't even finished, you asshole. I'm like, whatever. I've only been drinking whiskey for 4 years.
What proof?
I don't know.
90.
I want to say 94.
Okay.
That's such a Price is Right answer. 101.
There's a delayed hug. It's not like too much, right? It's just enough to be like, hey, I'm still here.
I think it's a bourbon.
You think it's a port finished bourbon?
I think it's a port finished bourbon, but I think it's a bourbon with rye in the mash bill. Because there's a bit of pepper in there, but it's not peppery.
Yeah, no,
it's like still sweet. It's still vanilla, but there's a little bit of a spice to it. So I'm going to say maybe a high rye bourbon port finish.
Okay. Rate.
Oh, house for me.
Yeah,
I would drink
this
again.
with you on that one. I didn't think I was going to enjoy it based off the nose, but I think that's why we got some weird bits on that, because I do think this is a finish. Now, we're probably dead wrong, and I don't really care because it's our show and we do what we want.
We do what we want. It's a finish now, motherfucker. You know what did this for me was the first note where I got that like buttery brown sugar. Once that hit, I was hooked. I was like, okay, this could be really good. I wish I got a little more of it on the palate, but like that like port finish kind of, or wine or whatever the hell finish we got on this was just like, it was interesting. It was a little more oily, I thought, but I really like it.
Okay, I don't understand this story bit, but I also don't know this movie. Aaron and Jim identify the trail as belonging to Wafflebot. The poor Wafflebot has been reprogrammed, and it's producing knockoff bourbons, ryes, scotches, and other types of whiskeys. Who did this, Wafflebot? Give us a name. Mount Crumpet, it replies, over and over and over again, until finally there's a loud crack, and the smell of ozone, and Wafflebot's eyes dim and fade, and it goes limp. And it's hands off my fatty acid, non-chill filtered, and it's a play on Fat Man. I've never heard of this one. So
I've never heard of this one.
I think this might be, I don't know, I'm not even going to try to guess. I'm not familiar with this, so.
Oh, hello, Fat Man.
Okay, so that one really had a decent, like, had a lot of going on with the nose. It's taken me a bit to get something on here.
Yeah, this is kind of nondescript, huh?
Mm-hmm. I'm getting a little bit of, like, the standard, what?
You're gonna, no, I can't say it because whoever brought this on is going to be really offended.
I'm just getting a typical, like, oak, like, caramel, what?
And kind of a little bit of pea diaper.
Oh, I don't get that at all.
I took a whiff and I was like, man, that takes me back to when Logan would piss his pants.
Wait, I gotta write this down.
But with like a little more sweetness to it.
Oh my god. Pea diaper.
Pea diaper. Hey, you know what? We had sweaty butt scooters, so it was only a matter of time.
Sweaty butt scooters, faucet sucking.
Pea diapers.
Pea diaper.
I didn't want to say it, but it's our show, so.
Yeah, well. Alright, I'm going to dive into this pea diaper now. That did not sound right. You know how you say a phrase and as you're saying it, you're like, I shouldn't be saying this. Like the filter just went.
My face hurts.
I think I killed Zack.
I'm just imagining.
Face first.
I'm just imagining this dad who, like, it's like, what do we got here? That's a pea diaper. I don't want to drink it now. Thank you for that. I needed that so bad this week.
I'm glad I could entertain you.
Next t-shirt, I'm going to dive into this pea diaper. We should just start a t-shirt series with like the most ridiculous like things we've ever said. This reminds us of.
Mm-hmm. There's so there is actually there's beaver butt whiskey.
Okay.
I forget what the name of the thing is called, but there is they take secretion from a beaver butt.
No.
Yeah.
No.
And it's a flavoring agent to a lot of things that you don't think about.
Don't tell me. Don't tell me.
I don't want to look it up because my phone's gonna die.
I know there's like coffee that comes out of a cat's rectum.
But no, someone did like a whiskey and like flavored it with this.
Who looks at that and they're like, you know what? This big ass rat ass juice. You know what?
I don't want my phone's died, so you...
You know what would be great? If we put that in something we drank.
Mm-hmm.
You know how it smells like literal absolute shit from the bowels of hell? What if we drank that? Like that, somebody was high as fuck.
Because I know what they put it in, you have definitely had some of this.
God damn.
Not the whiskey, but this secretion thing. I forget what the actual like technical term of it.
You know that good feeling I had earlier?
Yeah, it's gone.
It's gone.
Well, anyway, let's drink.
I'm
this
more
whiskey.
disappointed than when I found out ladybug shells were in M&Ms. Well, it doesn't taste like a pea diaper. I don't know what it tastes like though.
It's a whole lot of pepper.
All right, you know what? I already called it a pea diaper, so we're just gonna dig in. Like a brown sugar mac and cheese.
It's gonna be. I mean, that could be good.
I mean, it could be good.
Sprinkle some brown sugar on the top, throw it in the oven.
It could be really good, especially some like barbecue and like a pork butt on that. Oh my goodness. Maybe some like beaver anal juice just squeezed over the top of that, you know? Or as the vet calls them, anal secretions. I'm still getting pea diaper on the nose. I really am.
So there's a
Spaghetti.
burnt caramel.
But not good spaghetti. Burnt spaghetti. In like cheap sauce. Maybe not spaghetti, maybe basil.
I'm not crazy about this.
No, it's just like I'm not offended by the flavor, but I can't get past the pea smell when I sniff it.
I'm gonna guess this is 105.
What proof is urine?
I don't know.
It's that proof. Well, if I haven't thoroughly pissed off the person who put this in here by now, I'm gonna go ahead and just put a cap on that with a throw it at.
Oh, you're gonna go. I was gonna go downtown.
Yeah, I don't need to drink this again.
The pea diaper is just solidified for you.
That's too much.
So what's the proof of pea diaper?
The proof of pea diaper is in the smelling of it. The pea diaper is I'm going to say, it's peppery, so I'm going to say it's a rye. And I'm going to say 105. Yeah, I agree with you, 105.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with, I feel like rye is such my backup.
I know, if I'm like, oh, pepper, I'm like, it's the rye.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to remind myself, like, there's more out there that's peppery than just like a rye.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like you've got your...
All right, let's go with the last one. Now, this is the only one I don't have a story on because tomorrow is the 10th. Tomorrow's the 10th. I can't read what some of this is.
Got my old man spectacles on. You want me to take a shot at it?
Yeah, maybe. Something. I mean, it's a play on the Grinch, the Jim Carrey Grinch.
The avarice. The unmitigated gall.
BIB's a bottle and bond, saved bourbon. Yeah, see what you can see. I don't have a big large version. I'll get it tomorrow when I post this, but
is that Scott?
I don't know. Yes, it is.
I can't read what's under bib.
Saved bourbon. I can't read what's above bib. It's probably like how the so and so saved.
How the bib saved bourbon.
Something like that.
So are we going to go ahead and assume that Aaron's not just like screwing with us and this next one's going to be like bottom bond?
I mean, nothing has been what it's said. Like that rye hard was not a rye. Like, you know what I mean? So I'm not banking on that.
I applaud though. This is one of my favorite Christmas movies.
God, we're up to an hour.
Sorry, the pee thing kind of derailed us.
Well, there's a lot. I mean, we were like 15, 20 minutes in before we even started.
Yeah, that's true. Trying to save little bits for our infinity bottle.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's full right now, so we have to drink from it.
Okay.
Because I filled up everything from the past. Because I wanted to get through. I saved a little bit from the 0 to 2. So that one we had at the Whiskey Rebellion Fest. I saved a little bit in a sample bottle. And then I took everything we've had over the past year, which wasn't a lot, but there was enough that it filled the infinity bottle back up. So now we got to drink.
Oh my gosh, you know what would be such a fun episode? Like, what if I just came over and we just sat down and just like the episode is about nothing except drinking through the infinity bottle and seeing how the conversation changes as we drink through the infinity bottle.
So Aaron has a couple infinity bottles. I say we get with him.
Yes.
And we have all three or however many. He has 2, I think, from like shares and stuff. that we should just we should do that. Just like
I think we just like order like takeout barbecue and just sit down in your basement around the circle table and just keep pouring them, and we just kind of see where the confrontation. The confrontation. Oh man, it's gonna get ugly. The conversation takes us. I think that could be really freaking fun, and we can just call that episode "Tangents and App."
Exactly.
This is chocolate.
Yeah, I get like a bitter chocolate.
Yeah. Oh wow, that cacao is like overpowering for me. Not overpowering in a bad way, but just like I'm trying to smell other things. Vanilla. It kind of reminds me like an alcoholic version of Count Chocula.
So like if you poured Count Chocolate and then poured a whiskey in it instead of milk.
A bourbon liqueur.
Bourbon cream.
Bourbon creme. Ooh.
That was very interesting path.
Ooh. Ooh. That's it. I'm not going. Sorry, this was a Grinch
Wallow
theme.
in self-pity.
Dinner with myself. I can't cancel that again. I enjoyed this journey.
You get that chocolate at the front, and it kind of takes you through the rest, but it kind of dies out. Plays to a little bit of spice.
There's like a cinnamon nutmeg finish on it. It's like a cinnamon chocolate to me. I really like it.
I said this before. I think I've had this.
I really like it. I gotta say, 10 days in, only one throw it out and one downtown. Like, this Christmas has been it's been a great Christmas. Right? Because we didn't have any downtowns to throw it out. It's the first round.
Yeah, we did. One downtown.
Oh, one downtown. Okay, so 2 downtowns and a throw it out.
It was that one that was...
not a bad ratio, though.
It was number 7. No, I'm sorry. That's what we just did. I had a downtown, and then number 5 was a downtown.
That's right. I remember when we finished the first 5, finishing on number 5, I was like, oh, compared to the rest, it was just kind of...
It was there, yeah.
It's whatever. Wasn't offended by it, but... No, for a minute I thought maybe I was getting a little bit of an orange finish on it, but I'm not sure. Like a chocolate cinnamon orange.
Yeah. That's interesting enough for me to want it.
Yeah. I've never had anything like this before.
I'm gonna he's probably playing us, but I'm gonna stick with this. I'm gonna say this is 100 proof.
Probably, yeah, but I'm gonna go with you. I got your back, bro.
I can't place what this is.
No, I've never had anything like this before.
I'm gonna say bourbon, only because I've been picking rye too much. But I also of all the ones we've had, this does the least spice. The chocolate note really sticks out.
Do you think this can be filtered at all? Like, definitely not Jack Daniels.
Wait, you think it can be what?
Do you think this could be filtered at all? Like, Jack Daniels would be bourbon if they didn't filter it.
Filter through the charcoal.
Yeah, charcoal.
After the distillate.
I'm wondering if this is filtered, maybe.
I don't think it's a finish. Do you think it's finished?
I've just never had a bourbon that tasted like chocolate before.
I've had that Tennessee whiskey that I had that was finished in cacao nibs, but
right,
it's not that because
that was a Tennessee whiskey.
That was a Tennessee whiskey,
right? And
it was a one-off from this distillery that did it, and I got it 4 years ago, so they couldn't have gotten this,
No.
But I don't know.
I'm just again, like I'm still like, when it comes to whiskey, I'm still such a baby. Like, we've been doing this for what?
We have, but
3,
we don't
4
drink
years.
every day. Like we haven't
Yeah.
drank through like a lot, like consistently. You know what I mean? If we did, then yes, we should be better at this. But
once my kids are in college, I'll be increasing my consumption. But
so what did you? I'm sorry. Did you say what type you thought it was?
No, because I want to say a bourbon, but I've never had a bourbon like this before. So I'm gonna go ahead and say it's
like an American whiskey.
It's an finished American whiskey.
All right, that's the 10, or that's the 5 for this episode. Be on the lookout for the reveal. I don't like doing our typical outro because we're not done. So we will see you next time.